Hi everyone, it's Niamh here and welcome to my art journaling channel. Today we're going to be playing with some scribble sticks in my Use It Up journal. So I'm starting on a page that I've obviously got a lot of colour on. These are pages that I've just scraped in the extra paint that I've had on my palette into my journal. I don't worry about how I'm putting it in or if the colours go together, because I know I'll usually do something or a collage over the top or cover it in some way, shape or form. So I decided on this page that I was going to stencil some stars over it. And if I've got a double page like this, which is kind of the same but a little bit different, I do like to put something similar over both pages. So I make sure that the stars extend over both pages. And I'm stenciling those in cheddar. The reason I'm using the cheddar is because the paint I've used in the background is mostly fuchsia, and the blue colour I think is a mix of sky and ocean, and those three colours together, the fuchsia, sky and cheddar, are just one of my favourite colour combinations. I just love that almost primary colour combination on my pages. So you can see I'm not using very much paint on my stenciling. I've got some of the stars are more opaque than others. That's fine. It just gives me something in the background to sort of tie both those pages together. I'm just going in quickly and heat setting the paint just so it's completely dry before I go on. Now, I didn't have any idea of what I was doing on this page, except that I'd been through my collage collective a few days before and I had a whole heap of images cut out which I didn't actually end up using, and this one had sort of been sticking in out of my journal, kind of like a bookmark, and it had been sort of bugging me somewhat. So I thought, oh well, you know, instead of it sticking out, just glue it down. So that's what I did. So I'm just folding it because I didn't want it all on one page. I did want it to overlap onto the other page, and that again gives you a bit of flow between both pages and makes sure that it looks like both pages are supposed to be together. So for those people who haven't seen the Collage Collective before, it's a book done by Dina Wakley of all her collage, her images that you can cut apart and do whatever you want to, and you'll notice that it's double-sided, so that could be a bit hard for people to use to begin with, but she does put 2 sheets of each page in, so if you do use the face on this side, you've got an opportunity to use the other side on something else. So when I stuck this in, I really liked the image, but it was too white, because for those of you who follow my channel know that I have a running battle with having too much white on my page. I like to colour it all over with colour, and this is no exception. So I decided that I would use my scribble sticks. Now, in the past, or last year, I did a course with Tracy Scott and learnt how to shade using colour pencils and acrylic paints, which I really loved. So I've been doing a lot of that, and in the last little while, after watching some of Dina's daily demos, which is on her Art by Dina Wakley blog, and I'll leave the link to that in my description box below, she did some demos painting faces using acrylic paints, and I have been playing around a lot with that recently. So I decided I would use the scribble sticks instead to colour in. Now, I don't use the scribble sticks very often. When I do, I usually water activate them and use them more as liquid watercolour. So I don't tend to just use them dry to get pigment out of them, because I really struggled with that before. But again, since watching some of Dina's demonstrations using the scribble sticks, I realised my main issue was I just wasn't laying them down heavy enough. You actually really do need to scribble them down to get that really intense colour, and the colour is intense. They layer over each other beautifully, and funnily enough, it's exactly like I tell the kids when we're using oil pastels at school. Once you've got something down a layer of oil pastel down the background, when you put more over the top, it obviously moves easier because it's got something that it can glide over. Now, scribble sticks aren't oil pastels, they are just a pigment stick, but there is a similarity in of that layering. Once you've got some down, particularly on this hair, I was finding putting the other colors over the top really easy. And as you can see, I'm just scribbling it on. I'm being really loose with my coloring. I'm kind of using it as a shading, kind of using it as a drawing tool, and just having fun. It was just so much fun to do, and it was a really quick and easy process to get color down on the page without having to worry about putting lots of paints out or not using all the paint up. It's all contained in the stick. So if you do have your scribble sticks, break them out and have a go, because it is so much fun. So finally what I'm doing is just going in with the Stabilo oil pencil again, just to redraw over the lines and to put some darkness back on the page, and it really helps to pop the image out of the background. I'm also being really careful to do the eyes of the image and put in the catch lights of the eye, because that really draws your attention to the face itself. Once I'd finished, I was still having fun. I still wanted to do something with it. I wasn't sure how to finish it off. I knew I wanted to put some sort of quote on this page, but I wasn't sure what it was. So while I was sort of contemplating it, I decided I'd do my old trick of scribbling around the stenciling with really loose lines, just to get a little bit of white back on the page, because obviously I've, completely painted over all of that. That's nothing new for Niamh, really, is it? Once I'd finished doing that, I went to my phone and had a look up on Pinterest, which is my favourite place to go and look for quotes. And I just put in, I think, star quotes to find something that I liked. And this quote really spoke to me, actually, and it fitted the page beautifully. So, stars can't shine without brightness. Or without darkness, sorry. That makes more sense, Niamh. Stars can't shine without darkness. And just with a really loose pen, wrote over the top. Once I finished, I think I heat the pen up just to make sure it's completely dry. I like to do that with paint pens, even though they dry really, really quickly, because I want to usually do something else on the page. I don't want to smudge it. And I always like, with my lettering, just to put some highlights around it with a really thin white pen. And it's really funny because it's so thin, but it just makes all the difference to your lettering. It just pops it out of the background somewhat and gives it a little bit of a focus without being too taking away from the image too much. So this is the end of that page. It was a really simple page to do. It was so much fun using a product that I have struggled with for a while, but I have got a newfound love for. The colors are so vibrant, as you can see here, and I love the fact that you can see the strokes and you can see the lines of the scribble sticks as well. It gives a real texture to the page. And again, the fact that I could colour over the Collage Collective, I'm not having to draw a face from scratch. I've got that model there that I can draw over. So it helps to bring my hand into some of that artwork as well, which I really appreciate and love. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you got something out of this, and if you've got a set of scribble sticks, that you can go and have a play with them too. Until next time, bye for now.